And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to Gem in the Crypto, episode 1136. Today is Wednesday, August 23rd, 2023. And I'm King Hitterbridge. You got between community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday at 10ish, usually at 10ish, mostly every day, as long as there's some news stories pumping. Today's top story is mysterious Bitcoin wallet becomes third largest Bitcoin holder in 3 months. CBDCs offer faster settlement. City survey of global security firm says Chinese officials sentenced to life in prison for Bitcoin mining and corruption. OpenSea manager accused of insider trading sentenced to 3 months in prison with a $50,000 fine. And first Republican presidential debate to feature pro-crypto candidates. But first and foremost, of course, we're going to be taking a look at those prices on the day. I see everybody starting to load in. Welcome back. What's going on? Welcome back to the show. Let's go ahead and bring up the prices of today. Looking at coin market cap here. Bitcoin, oh, not coming in so hot. Well, it was getting a little bit better. Hold on, let me reset this. Oh, there it is. A quick reset. Got us right above the 26,000 mark. We were just at 25,008 or 900, but we'll go from this $26,037. Up 0.24%. You see it continues to climb right now. Ethereum's at $1,650, down 0.43%. I mean, these are going up and down as I speak. Ripple at number 5 at 52 cents, up 1.24%. Number 9, Solana at $20.80, down 0.46%. Tron at number 10 at 7 cents, up 2.63%. So those are your top 10 coins of the day. Trending token CyberConnect, still Cyber is down 10.71%. Bitcoin is trending more than likely because, like I said, hit that $25,000 mark and some change. And Shiba Inu is trending up 3.98%. Fear and Greed Index is actually, I think, went up once since last time. It's at 34. So still pretty low. Fear is low. Bitcoin dominance has actually increased at 48.3%, and Ethereum dominance has decreased at 18.9%. Couple things again. Bitcoin, if you saw last couple of days, throughout the day and night, it has been teetering at the 25.8, 25.9 mark. I will say the good thing about it though is that seems to be the floor right now, the local floor. As in every time it literally hits 25 something, like you're literally seeing it get bought right back up to 26K. So that is a very good thing for Bitcoin because it does show that, hey, we found this local bottom isn't too bad. On the flip side, though, I mean, literally, we're one bad news story away from seeing it go from 26,000 to 22 to 19 and 22K. Like, we're one bad news story away. On the flip side, we're one good news story away from seeing it go to 26 back to 28, 29, where we just were a week ago. So those are the positives and negatives. I guess you can see here actually went as low as $25,589 yesterday. So again, we're starting to teeter, but almost instantaneously on the actual charts, on the trading charts. If you go to some of the exchanges, those buys are happening almost like instantaneous once it hits the $25,000 mark. So again, it's a good thing that we found the floor there, at least the local bottom right now. Okay, really quick, some shout outs. What's going on? Cliff, BTC, Bitcoin Matt on Wisdom Bars, Laura Smith, 64 ECG, OC Benji, Janine, Miriam, Black Business Crypto Group, DJ Sahara, Bar None, BK Crypto, Andrew Martin, Simon Family Investment Ventures. Check them out. Make sure you still watching their videos. They got amazing content still coming out. Check them out every week. Billy Crush, what's going on? Lord said, taking Russian money and saying keywords like Bitcoin, BTC, hilarious. There we go. All right, top story of the day. Not necessarily a story, just something we want to hit on. The news cycle is slow right now. It often, of course, happens when the price is stagnant and sideways, and we're going through that. So more fun stories today, but one of which is this one. Mysterious Bitcoin wallet becomes third largest Bitcoin holder in 3 months. An unknown wallet has accrued more than $3 billion worth of Bitcoin in the last 3 months, sparking a wave of theories about the potential owner. Now, again, this is more of a fun, feel-good story. We'll talk about it. But what I like most about this story is the technology. Again, all these people, I'm looking at the CoffeeZillas of the world, the Cornelias of the world, every Joe Rogan and every guest he brings on to talk about crypto. Like, majority of the crypto channels out there in the world, they always want to talk about price and fiat currency. They don't even talk about the value of it. much less the technology here. I love talking about the technology of Bitcoin. That is what turned me on to Bitcoin to begin with, was the technology of, wow, I can have and own my own capital and be able to access it anywhere on the planet. This is very easy and simple and makes sense. That's what attracted me to it. I say that because this is what's cool about the story to me, is the tech part about it. And that's the fact that you can literally, and there already are people who literally spend all their time looking at the blockchain. They spend all their time looking at the Bitcoin blockchain, looking at the bigger transactions, the smallest transactions, the speed of transactions, which transactions are being stuck in blocks, and even actual wallet holders. So my point to this is, if we literally just parlay this thing all over to government, to politicians, the SEC, Gary Gensler wants that $2.4 billion, right? Give it to them in Bitcoin. We do all our campaigns in Bitcoin. All our politicians get paid in Bitcoin. They're the public officials. We track their purchases in Bitcoin. We can watch every little thing they do down to the Satoshi, less than a penny. Every move they make, everything they spend their money on. And if they do happen to take some mystery trip or have some mystery purchase of above $600, since that's how we're playing Biden administration, we can now say, where did that money come from? How and when did you buy it? Because we're tracking your Bitcoin. We didn't see you buy this $600 plane ticket to this place. We didn't see you. So to me, this is the coolest part about this story, is the fact that there are people doing this in their free time right now for private wallets. Nonetheless, what type of motivation do you think they'll have to do it for an actual government official, politicians, regulators, things like this? I mean, we were talking about changing the world overnight, and bam, that's how you get that sniper bullet. Good thing we are still small, because if we're any bigger, I'm telling you, they be trying to kick shit up on me right now. They be like, oh man, he does this. You know, he does this in his spare time. It'd be all types of stories popping up, I tell you. All right, but again, let's get back to the funness of this story. A mysterious Bitcoin wallet has surged up the ranks to become the third largest holder of Bitcoin in the world in just over 3 months, with the timing sparking some wild theories about its owner. You can see this is actually grayed out, but when this story was pushed out, and I just clicked on this article probably about 30 minutes or so ago, the price was $25,985. So you do actually see that here. According to data from crypto statistics platform BitInfo Charts, the wallet address first received Bitcoin on March 8th. Over the course of the next 3 months, in 2 weeks, the wallet had accrued a staggering 118,000 Bitcoin, worth $3.08 billion at current prices, and probably even more now that we hit back 26K again. So again, this is a mysterious wallet. Right here, you can actually see the wallet address. So if you were bored or had some free time this morning, you could just look up that on the blockchain yourself and see what it actually is doing, the size and so forth. The rapid and significant accrual of Bitcoin within a single wallet address has attracted its fair share of conjecture. Some users suggest it's most likely a crypto exchange moving funds. That is what I would have guessed, either an old exchange or a brand new exchange moving funds. That's my best guess. While some more radical members of crypto Twitter have posted a more wild theory suggesting BlackRock is the prime suspect. Could be as well, but the bottom line, I think everybody's in agreement on, is that is more than likely, an institution. So I think everybody's kind of like on board with that. That like it's probably just some institution either already invested in or about to invest in Bitcoin and crypto. You can see here, one people tracking it, saying that this is, some of these dates align to BlackRock when it's filed Bitcoin ETF. Again, to me, this is one of those things also where you can kind of make a narrative and storyline from whatever, I guess, depending on the date and what's happening in Bitcoin. Something almost every day happens in crypto or Bitcoin. You can almost form a storyline around it. So that would be pretty cool. Again, other folks have been pictures, BlackRock. A few folks said Binance and Bitfinex. So again, who knows right now, but that is the cool thing. And again, what I like most about this is the ability to actually have a wallet address, actually in a name or a group, an organization to it, and being able to follow it and track it the same way. So again, if you're interested, check out Blockchain Explorer and all that good stuff to look up that wallet address as well. I was actually trying to copy and paste it in the background. So I'll see if I can go to Twitter to copy and paste it so I can pull up the address for everyone as well. Let's see. While I'm doing that, let me check out. Oh, great point. Okay, no cap. I need to bring these comments up on the screen. I know if you're in the chat, you can see them, but for anyone who views after, I got to bring these up. Great comment. Someone said U.S. government. Possible. I mean, hey, listen, let me know in the comments. Who do you think it is? I mean, that's a great point. Could be the U.S. government. Paxos shutting down account, says Landon. Let's see. What else do we have going on? Don Satoshi. I like that name. Don Satoshi. That's a good name. Let's see. What do we have? Gemini. Okay, thank you, Cliff. Cliff Bitcoin BTC said word on the streets, or word on the streets is that Gemini owns that wallet. Okay, that's a good possibility. If it's Gemini, that makes sense as well. $3 billion definitely falls into their category. So I'm with that one. What's going on, Jerome Jones? Let's see. Hey, exactly. Janino was up talking about they're gonna have to drop dimes. Somebody telling, right? $3 billion in a new wallet. Sounds like the IRS wants to know whose it is as well. Let's see. All right. What else is going on? I was trying to, all right, really quick in the background again. I was trying to actually pull up this tweet. It's not letting me pull it up. But I wanted to pull up the tweet so I could actually bring up that wallet address. But somebody can type it in the chat. You can do that as well. But let me see if I can pull this up. Yeah, I can't pull it up. But maybe I'll do it later and try to get in there. I think that'd be pretty cool to look at. Here we go. Pulled up the tweet. And no, it's still a screenshot. Let's see if I can get the screenshot. I cannot get the screenshot of the Bitcoin address. I'll have to type it in. All right, what else is going on? Oh, this was a pretty interesting story. Not really going to cover this. It's more of the headline I like. It was hilarious to me. CBDCs offer faster settlements. Citi survey of global security firms. The year-on-year growing support CBDCs is supported by ongoing domestic pilots and cross-border initiatives in various jurisdictions, banking giant Citi found. This is what XRP meant when they said, hey, the last 2 or 3 years, the SEC has essentially slowed our adoption down. And what they didn't actually put, which I would have went as far as put as like, and they stole our shit. They stole our deals. They stole our marketing and everything. I mean, Citi is essentially saying the same thing Ripple was saying a few years ago, and Ripple was only saying the thing that was going to happen regardless, but that they saw early, and that's that banks and governments were going to try to get on its own type of blockchain instead of using Bitcoins. Like, that's simply all it is. Now, I actually will dig into this a little bit. What's funny about this story is that this is a no-duh. This is a no-brainer to anybody who's been in Bitcoin or crypto as a whole in general, that any blockchain will offer faster settlements, right? Like, not even CBDCs. You can put Dogecoin there. Like, to be honest, banks could use Dogecoin, governments could use Dogecoin, and those settlement times be fast. And I think it actually wouldn't be as volatile if you cap it on those type of markets rather than the traditional, what it is now, retail market for everyone. Because it does work and it does have fast settlements. Like, let's be clear about that. So for Citi to come out and say, hey, CBDCs offer faster settlements, and here's our proof. All you will literally have to do is take any number of crypto projects. Like, literally, it's 23,000 crypto projects. Take any one of them and copy paste the white paper and just put Citi on top of it, and you look like genius. So the reality is, I brought this story up to say anyone who's working in a traditional sector, like especially banking, clearly, but if you're working in banking, in taxes or accounting or whatever, it doesn't even have to be finance. I'm trying to think of some different, like healthcare, right? We're talking about bringing health records over to blockchain. If you're working in any of these sectors, literally write your own mini white paper. And again, when I say white paper, I'm thinking of Bitcoin's white paper, not the 80-page books, 100-page books that we've seen as of late. I'm talking 8, 9, 10, 12 pages max type of deal. 8 pages is perfect, right? Push that out and use that as your corporate or whatever you need to use it as. And I'm telling you, that's a promotion in the bottle. That's a raise in the bottle. Whatever you need, that's what it is. Citi did it for you. It's hilarious. But again, banking giant Citi's latest edition of its security services evolution white paper highlighted India's recent move to T1 settlements, which ensures all trade-related settlements conclude within 24 hours of a transaction. Like, literally, people, they just wrote a word about trade-related settlements concluding within 24 hours of the transaction in 2023. This is hilarious to me. You're talking about moving slow with technology. Wow. Like, just like, wow. People, this is what Bitcoin has enabled for years. This is madness. As the United States, Canada, and other leading economies set up efforts to transition to T1 settlements. To transition, they're not even there. As the US, Canada, and other leading economies step up efforts to transition to T1 settlement cycles. That will be settlement cycles within 24 hours. The city survey gauges the importance of distributed ledger technology, CBDCs, and stablecoins in expediting this transition. First of all, hand clap for the G's in the room. I mean, listen, I see what they're doing. Not only, of course, is Bitcoin and even some of the other cryptos already superior technology and has the ability to do this. I mean, to be honest, by them just writing this, use Ripple, then use XRP, because you know what? At least they're done building, broker or deal with them the same way you did the Federal Reserve. Like at this point, like instead of recreating the wheel and wasting time, and that's why I'm giving them the hand clap instead of using Ripple, someone they can't control and don't get the profit from. Instead of using Bitcoin, something it can't control and definitely doesn't get the profit from. They're saying even if we end up having to use a form of XRP or Bitcoin or any of these other cryptos, even when we have to capitulate, we are going to drag this thing out as long as possible. Not only are we not about to use their stuff, we're actually going to recreate white papers about this technology that's been out now for over 10 years. We're also going to recreate the system, the market. We're going to start CBDCs instead of just using Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies out there. We're going to start a whole new CBDC market. We're going to sell this narrative. We're going to use marketing money on it. We're going to create this whole clown show circus, dog and pony for something we're creating on thin air CBDCs to drive a market to it, to get taxpayer money. So, oh, I know what's going to happen. Get the taxpayer money going toward it. Presidential pardons on debts and national. I get it. We're about to have this whole 10 or 15 year ordeal around CBDCs just to see how much they really don't work or how much we're still going to have to integrate something like Bitcoin or any of these other cryptos into the overall market. So here we go. Like literally, here we go. We're about to waste time on something we already have accomplished. They're literally just now pushing out the white paper on what's considered T1 settlement cycles, 24 hours to conclude a settlement transaction. Crazy. This is absolute madness. I would argue to say there's some smaller cryptos out there and they don't have the volume yet. So not to say this is like linear and it always will stay like this, but there are smaller cryptocurrencies out there that have settlement time within like hours, like within minutes, some of them, right? Again, not a lot of volume, so if volume were increased, those times would decrease and slow down. But this, as it stands right now, is only happening with, as I said, pilot cycles and testing cycles anyway. So for 13 different clients, it will still work. And these are just some of the far off ones I'm talking about, not even the ones that you all love and people actually work on and stuff. So again, this is crazy to me. I just had to talk about the story. I spend more time on it than I want. But again, I wanted to bring it up because if you are a professional in one of these spaces, like layup, this is a layup 360 through the leg slam dunk for you to look smart in front of your peers. You can literally just go copy a white paper at this point and talk about how distributed ledger technology is going to impact what you're doing here and blah, blah, blah. And then go ahead and create the entire narrative for it, people. It's amazing. Amazing. Hit them likes and shares. There we go. Kaiser Sosa, Toshi Nakamoto. I always say that wrong. This has a lot of Musk inventing the tunnel energy. That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying as well. I wonder if drug cartels will get a special CBDC for their financial activities. This is what I'm saying. Listen, slippery slope, slippery slope. And that's also where, you know, where they always say Bitcoin is used for drug dealers and all that stuff. Like people, when it's really reached parity for like the cartels and stuff, they're going to have their own cryptocurrency and they won't trade out of it. Like for what? Why would they need to trade out of it? Especially like the only thing they need from America right now is to get their cash back and their guns. So the guns you can do with your own crypto, especially if you have a market for it in Mexico and other ancillary places the cartel operates, where it's like farmers selling food, drinks, fruit, bars, and everything. They're like, no, we only going to use cartel crypto here. Like we have government too, but we definitely use cartel crypto here. Like if they end up doing that, and then you have gun runners also using cartel crypto since they live abroad as well, not just the U.S. Like, yeah, that's a dangerous, dangerous game, slippery slope. But that's a whole next level of thinking. Again, that's them saying we're not going to use a dollar, we're not going to use Bitcoin, we're not going to use CBDC. We're literally going to create our own crypto, and we're going to we're not going to keep it a secret. We're going to use it. This is going to be a real crypto we're giving to farmers and everyone else. Something to think about. You never know, especially if they back it by straight cash early on. They're backing it by cold hard cash. They have a case, because at the end of the day, people say, well, all I know is I can trade in this cartel crypto for cash. Meanwhile, they're getting it hand over foot for free anyway, essentially, right? So I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? It's all types of places and ways this whole industry can go. But what I do know is people going to jail. All right. Cartel or not, people going to jail playing these crypto games. Chinese officials sentenced to life in prison for Bitcoin mining and corruption. Zhao Yi was accused of abuse of power and corruption, operating a $329 million Bitcoin mining enterprise. A $329 million Bitcoin mining enterprise. Chinese government official has been sentenced to life in prison, which is absolutely insane. It's people who do coups, government coups, who literally try to take over the government in China and here, who don't get life in prison. Like, this is madness. Has been sentenced to life in prison for illegitimate business operations related to running a $2.4 billion Chinese yuan, $329 million dollar Bitcoin mining operation enterprise for unrelated charges of corruption. According to local media reports, the Intermediate People's Court of Hangzhou City sentenced Zhao Yi, a former member of the man, I'm getting my words confused trying to get ready for the next one. A former member of the Jingzai Provincial Political Consultative Conference Party Group and vice chairman, to life in prison for corruption and abuse of power on August 22nd. Goodness gracious. These are some long titles. The corruption charges stem from non-crypto related activities of bribery. Okay, so that's some real deal stuff. From 2008 to 2021. Goodness gracious, my man was getting bribed half the term. The abuse of power charges dating from 2017 to 2021 stem from providing financial and electricity subsidies to Jinmu Group Genesis Technology, a firm based in the city of Fuzhou that at one point operated more than 160,000 Bitcoin mining machines. So, okay, so the corruption, bribery, and all that good stuff, if this is true as it is being alleged, is that he basically took money to look the other way for Bitcoin mining companies to help set up Bitcoin mining companies in different provinces. He was paid. I can pretty much bet you that when it first started, because this goes back to 2008, I can or at least the 2007 ones with 2017. Well, even 2017, let's say from there, that's when it just got hot and the spotlight was put on. Now, technically, China was really on top of Bitcoin in 2016. I remember in 2016, they were still on top of Bitcoin because at the top of 2017, they were talking about banning it and all that. So they were already still going the back and forth. But I would say that they're the size of that country and everything, I would assume that there was still for government officials that feeling of ease when you're just dealing with random crypto companies, helping them start up and taking bribes and giving them favors and freebies. Like, it was still novel and new enough to where I'm assuming the government could not track every new Bitcoin mining facility popping up. And for the local or the, I guess, the statewide politicians out there, regulators, that this person is being abused with a charge with these type of people, I'm sure at their level, they are seeing the crypto companies pop up like, all right, we can keep this between ourselves if you give me X amount of dollars. Or on the flip side, the crypto company, you're talking about a mining company, 2017, they're probably making so much, they're probably just hitting up city officials saying, hey, we want to do X, Y, Z. And then, they probably won't even tell the whole story. We just need to use a little bit of extra electricity to do some new technology, business, whatever. They don't have to explain everything thoroughly. Here, we're going to give you extra 50K just to look the other way because we don't want our competitors to know that we're in this area doing this new electricity technology stuff. And they're like, you want your competitors? No, cool. Give me the 50K. I'm not thinking twice about it. Next thing you know, Bitcoin blows up. They actually realize what's happening. And oh shit, we are going to be in trouble with the CCP. Prosecutors say that Yi covered up the mining operation by instructing relevant departments to fabricate statistical reports and adjust the classification of electricity consumption. See, I kind of figured electricity consumption was going to be a deal. From 2017 to 2020, GMU's electricity consumption accounted for 10% of Fuzu's total electricity consumption. Oh my goodness, come on. They're doing the whole, listen, if you can't take everything, you can't take a chunk of the cake and think nobody gonna notice. I mean, put your little taste. We only do taste around here, okay? You don't get to take a piece of the cake and walk off like we're gonna. It's a piece of the cake is missing. What are you doing? Yi pleaded guilty and repented, actively returned the stolen funds, and all the bribes and their profits have been seized, wrote the ruling magistrate of the Hanzhou's People's Court. So that is crazy. It looks like, of course, China right now currently bans all forms of cryptocurrency transactions, exchange operations, and fiat to crypto onboarding, but has stopped short of prohibiting outright ownership. So here's a former Chinese government official, Zhao Zi, as he awaits sentencing. Serious courtroom right there. I will say that. Oh, somebody's sleeping back there. Hold on. Oh, this is the last we're going to see of you. Wake your ass up in this Chinese courtroom. You embarrassing them on the national stage. What's going on here? China, y'all got your people sleep in the courtrooms. No, but seriously, this looks like it's no games. I mean, he got the 2-arm. I'm assuming they're type of bailiffs or something. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that story. Life in prison for Bitcoin mining corruption. That is crazy. I would not want to go to prison for life for Bitcoin mining corruption. Like what? All you had to do was pay to play, especially in China. CCP, when they cut, you can't be doing that, man. That's crazy. Just a taste, man. Y'all know what's up. Janine said, King's pronunciations be the highlight of my mornings. Listen, it is the highlight of my world every day. Trust me. It's like one of those Key and Peele skits when I start sweating all hard. I'm just dripping sweat trying to figure out a word to say. Oh, man. Kaiser said, oh, he got life. He got off life. That is true. Unless you're SBF, the Teflon crypto kid. Jake said, bro, I think ETF is a Trojan horse. Settlement needs to be able to be determined by the user of the ETF and not the manager. This may be a setup for rehypothecation, maybe not at first, but later on in the future. Great point. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. I think all the derivatives, the Bitcoins are Trojan horses because all you're doing is diluting. You remember, this is my fault too. The technology made sense. It made sense. I can't talk today. The technology made sense. I thought this would happen overnight. Clearly, it is not. But not only will it not happen overnight, but the government has been and is still doing things to slow it down. Remember, government's on a 100-year plan here. So what? We won the first 5 or 7, 10 years. Government's like, cool. As long as, like, without government interference, let's say, for example, without government interference, we're on year, 14 or something? Let's say by year 15, Bitcoin would have been at 300K, right? The government at this point is just saying, hey, let's just interfere as much as possible so that by year 15, they're just at 80K. We can live with that. So use that as a metric for long term. You're talking about Bitcoin being a store of global wealth. As long as the government's saying, hey, fine, maybe it will be a store of global wealth, but let's not allow that to happen until the year 2100, then we're cool. I think that's what's happening. I say that to say that, yes, every derivative of Bitcoin, so every future, every ETF, all of those things are taking away from the bottom line of the price. Every new crypto that's blooms out of nowhere, every new meme coin, all of that dilutes and marginalizes Bitcoin, not in its value itself and its underlying value, but in the fiat price point, it does, right? That's just how market share works. So again, for me, imagine if all 23,000 other cryptos price point, or excuse me, market cap was into Bitcoin, and imagine there was no futures market. To me, that is the true price of Bitcoin. I think right now, technically, that were to be true, we'd be looking at easy like a $300,000 or $400,000 Bitcoin. Like off the top of my head right now, if we were to wrap all these other markets from other cryptocurrencies into it, as well as the futures market. So I'm with you. I think that's the Trojan horse in of itself, just by offering these things in general. Let's see. Kaiser said what's crazy is that smaller groups of communities have established their own crypto. Maybe I am not hip. I'm with you. Somebody said that cartel crypto is going to be backed by cocaine. Listen, clearly it would work in the United States. In the United States, if you say you can turn in some crypto and get you a little 8 ball, listen, I've never done it, and I try not to judge whoever, though I will say I didn't been around too many coke heads not to judge. Uh, but by and large, people would definitely take that deal. People would take that deal over food and water, unfortunately. People would take that deal over their own children, unfortunately. So let's keep it real. Like, we are here to be realists as well. Yes, if a crypto is backed by cocaine, that crypto would be redeemable. People redeem that crypto for that cocaine. Okay, that's just real life. Motherfuckers would be at the grocery store trying to get the 8-piece deal with the two sides, talking about, I sold the last bit of my crypto, but you can sell this coke back and get some more off. Look at the store and be like, what? If you don't get out of here? All right, we've been talking about people going to jail, cartels, cocaine. It's getting crazy here today. Open manager accused of insider trading sentenced to 3 months in prison with a $50,000 fine. I mean, on the flip side, the life in prison in China wasn't worth it, but this is where you get averages from. On this side, it was worth it. I mean, literally, you're talking about insider trading on OpenSea. Some of these NFTs were going like on average for 100K, 120K NFT or whatever. And you tell me you're getting the inside track on this? What? You should have made that 50K 100 times over. No, I won't say 100. Realistically, he should have made that 50K at least 12 to 15 times over. So, yeah, you got hit for what, 8%, 6% of your wins. You should have had that stash away. That was a cool little fee. And then you got to do your 3 months in the bank. I haven't been. I would not want to go, but depending on how the numbers add up, yeah, 3 months. What they call them, club feds or whatever. And a 50K fine, depending on the type of numbers you did, it might have been worth it if you're talking $4 to $5, $6 million. Nathaniel Christian will reportedly have until November 2nd to surrender himself following his conviction for wire fraud and money laundering insider trading on OpenSea. That's right. Federal judge sentenced former OpenSea product manager Nathaniel Chastain to 3 months in prison for wire fraud and money laundering related to insider trading on the platform. In the August 22nd announcement from the U.S. Department of Justice, U.S. Attorney Damian Williams said Chastain had been sentenced to 3 months in prison, 3 months of home confinement, and 3 years of supervised release, in addition to being ordered to pay a $50,000 fine and forfeit ill-gotten ether from the NFT trades. Intercity Press reported he would be required to surrender himself on November 2nd, with his lawyers planning to appeal the decision and request bail. Oh, okay. So he's saying we ain't trying to go to no jail. Respect for the law in general, deterrence militate for punishment, reportedly said the judge is sentencing, but Chastain is a first-time offender. There are mitigating circumstances. He has a potentially promising future. Oh, you gotta love it. I only hope, if there is ever anything I'm brought up for, which would be false to begin with, but if it were to happen, during my judgment, the judge, jury, and everyone else keeps in mind, not potentially, I have a promising future. So, hey, fuck all that judgment. All right, I got a promising future. Let me. Hey, what would they say that about SBF? Listen, the guy made some mistakes. $50 billion, whatever. We get it. The guy does have he's only 30, right? 31. He does have a promising future. Like, definitely could be a speaker at this point. From his story alone, is that where we're headed to? Promising futures. Gotta love it. I wonder. That's all I'm going to say. I'll let you all figure out. What's his name? What's his name? Nathaniel Chastain. I wonder. That's all I'll say on that one. I just wonder a lot about who this person is, who they know. How is this possible? But it looks like, again, accused of insider information in his position at OpenSea to profit off the trading NFTs, was convicted by a jury on May 3rd of wire fraud and money laundering. In his position as product manager, he had the authority to choose which NFTs will be featured on the OpenSea website. He purchased 45 NFTs prior to them being featured and then resold them. Oh, man. You went crazy. That's what I'm talking about. They taking pieces of cake. Like, listen, just a taste. You go for your 3 to 5 of the biggest ones, okay? That way, if it gets muddled with, hey, these are the biggest ones the NFT market has ever saw. Anyone was in on this. Like, you could have been a a deaf guy on the corner you were in on this thing, right? You got that's what you do your 3 to 5s, all right? Just a just a taste. This whole 40, you got 45 slices of the cake. You didn't think nobody was going to notice, or you just didn't care. You know what? This judgment and sentencing, I get it. This isn't even really punitive as far as you're in trouble as much as it is a public slacking, like a public whipping, slap on the wrist, but it's a public one. It's more for embarrassment purposes. It's more like you stole a slice of pizza in the school cafeteria and they yelled and pointed you out just to make sure that embarrassment stuck with you. All right. True story. That's what this is about. This isn't about actually punishing. It is about embarrassing this person. 45. You went for 45. You couldn't get enough, huh? Well, on number 44, you just had to have one more, huh? You was living that baller lifestyle, living like a scam artist on IG. You had to do one more. It looks like on August 22nd, order from Judge Jesse Furman stated the court would consider whether Chasten would be required to forfeit any ether from insider trading scheme or the U.S. dollar equivalent. The sentencing likely marked the conclusion of the case following Chasten being charged and arrested by U.S. authorities in June of 2022. Hey, listen, you had a good run. In another separate case, former Coinbase product manager Ishan Wahi was sentenced to 2 years in May for using confidential information at the crypto exchange to profit off new token listings. So, hey, that was a little bit, tougher. Looking like his brother in that case got 10 months in prison, or sentenced to 10 months, but he's still at large. He said, hey, doing a race. All right, y'all can holler at me when y'all see me. But this is crazy. So, again, this was, to me, was more of just a public embarrassment type of deal. Yeah. 45. Come on, man. That extra 45th one is the one you like. That was the one you're supposed to give it to Uncle Sam. You didn't give Uncle Sam his taste. He found out before you started to, and he was just like, oh, no, you didn't. He started jumping up around, threw his hat down on the ground. He went crazy. You got to give Uncle Sam his taste. Kaiser said people act like they don't know how to steal these days, shaking my head. Zyro said, this man said, true story. Listen, I had the $2 on me. I hurry up and paid them to avoid the confusion. I couldn't believe this is the lady. She sold me out like that. Like, this is all I got, bitch. I'm broke. All right. But seriously, real life. This was, hey, listen, poor. Okay. I had to eat, literally. Somebody said traumatized from that cafeteria. Shame. Listen, this is real life. No, but seriously, this is why I keep saying. You said people act like they don't know how to steal these days. Kaiser said that. This is what I keep telling you about these thugs and these criminals out here. They're not smart people. That's why I keep saying, how many times do I say these thugs and criminals are smart? You all have in your mind maybe certain demographics and people I'm talking about, but I'm talking about these people too. All right. This is a prime example. OpenSea or Coinbase product manager, OpenSea product manager, all this stuff. And yes, they are over here just thugging it out, being just straight animals, degenerates, and getting away with it. Listen, if I were to tell you some of the profit of some of these people in these, I'm like, come on, I'm in the circles, folks. I know the profit of some of these organizations and people, what they're doing. It is worth the punishment. It is literally worth the punishment. For them, at least. I'll say that. For me, when I look at some of it, it's not really worth it because, again, selling your name like that, you can't do much. You cannot do much else in the future. You're kind of stuck to that. But again, for some of the numbers, if you don't care, and this is like, hey, this is your win and this is your out, as clearly some of them don't care, they're going for it. Kaiser, I agree, say he'll probably pay more in lawyer fees than the fine. I think so as well. He'll probably pay more than in lawyer fees than the actual fine. Lawyer gonna be like, I kept you out of prison, right? I told you 150K regardless of what happened. Like, I want my 150K. I'm with you. Too many wild animals running the criminal world these days. No class, no honor. Said. I agree with you. That is true. All right. Last but not least, ending it on the great news story. First Republican presidential debate to feature pro-crypto candidates. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and businessman Vivek Ramaswamy will be in attendance at the political debate today on August 23rd. However, not Miami Mayor Francis Suarez, despite earlier claims, but candidates for the Republican nomination for the 2024 United States presidential election who have publicly expressed their support or disdain for certain crypto-related policies will be meeting for a debate for the first time. At the time of the publication, 8 Republican candidates are expected to appear in Milwaukee today on August 23rd in the party's first debate ahead of the 2024 election season. Former U.S. President Donald Trump, the party frontrunner, currently facing multiple criminal indictments related to his alleged role in attempting to overturn the result. Why did they put this? Okay, he's not appearing. I was just reading, but I was like, why are you putting all this? Just to say he's not appearing? Yeah. Donald Trump, I think everybody knows he is by now. He's not going to be there. The article just wanted to put it in there. It seems like an AI article. That's what we'll put in there. But they probably want to get that SEO up. I need to do more of that. I'm not mad. But regardless, the point of this is that this is the first time many of these Republican candidates are going to be meeting and seeing each other all at one time. And this is also the first time a lot of these candidates who are running on some type of crypto or pro Bitcoin platform will be able to showcase that. So who knows if they're actually going to talk about it? As of now, is not a topic of debate. But again, a few of these folks like Ron DeSantis, they're actually running on these pro Bitcoin, pro crypto advocates, or anti CBDC at least, anti-government cryptos. These people are running on those type of platforms. This is going to be a debate amongst them. It will be interesting to see if they actually bring that up. So I can't wait to see if they do. But yeah, I know. Yep. Again, I'm not going to get too political. Like I said, I can care less about either or party. They might be talking about crypto, which is what the appeal is here. So we will see what happens. That remains to be seen. Other than that, that is the show for the day. I went a little bit longer. But at least we made some fun with these news stories. It's super slow again, people. More than likely going to skip tomorrow and just be back for Friday. If something pops up overnight or in the morning that is interesting enough to talk about, we will. But as of now, it's just ping ponging the stories of, is Bitcoin about to boom? Is Bitcoin about to dip? Like, is Bitcoin like, is this, that? It's just a lot of conjecture happening, more opinion oriented articles. You can just have my opinion all day anyway. So I mean, if we're not going to really analyze what's happening in the story in the market, we're going to skip over it. But again, I will check. I'll wake up and check. If you see a top story, you'll see me tomorrow. But if it looks like we're still going sideways, this is calm, I guess I'll see you all Friday at 25.6. That is 25,600. We're going down, people. It's going down unless we get some good news in the market. If not, we're about to go sideways down until the happening. Smash that like and share. And I will see you soon, if not tomorrow, on